Hello, my dear students. Good morning to one and all. So, this is the video for those students who are who needs most important questions along with the solutions. And please make sure that this is one of the finest material. Definitely, it will change your marks. Do not hesitate to watch this video. And also, I'll be going to give you the link for this page. You can download and you can start revising according to this. So this video covers all the most important questions. In case if any students are finding difficult to pass in science or else to score in science, this is one of the toppest material which can leads you to success. Without wasting much time, we are going to start observing this material, which type of questions may appear, how the questions will be framed, and how much you need to write the answer for the specific questions. Let's begin. Here, the first question, how do you determine whether the chemical reaction has taken place? Children, here I am not going to explain you in detail about these all answers, but I'll let you know, I'll give you the hint, which are the cross questions can be asked, which are the application level type questions can be asked, understanding level questions can be asked. Okay, so in that knowledge based questions can be asked. In that scenario, I'm going to explain you here. Alhamdulillah, I hope your teachers have explained you all each and every topic. Again, we don't want to teach you the things right from the basics. You already studied throughout the year. Definitely, you might be knowing the answers and the meanings, everything stuff. Okay, so I don't want to make this video lengthy so that you can find any difficulty. How do you determine whether the chemical reaction has taken place? If I give you any substance or if you are observing anything, okay, any reaction, okay, whether in that reaction has happened or not, how do you determine? If they ask you the question like this, just you write the answer this much. Change in color. The chemical reaction has taken place if one or more of the following changes occurs. If any changes occurs like this, we can say that the chemical reaction has taken place. Just you can write the answer here. Change in color, formation of gas, change in temperature, formation of precipitate, change in state, emission of light or sound. If you are going to write this much, that's enough. Okay. Now here, some questions can be asked you in indirect form on the same statements. Change in color. They may ask you, please make a note of these points in your mind. Okay. This is one of the most important thing. Copper sulfate, actually it is in blue color. Remember the color of the copper sulfate. Sometimes they may ask you to name the color. Till now we were knowing that when copper sulfate reacts with iron, it gives iron sulfate. We know. But now the question is, when copper sulfate reacts with iron, it gives iron sulfate. Name the color of the iron sulfate. So you should know the color of this. Sir, how do we get to know? I hope in your schools they have done the reactions in front of you. Practically, they have done the experiments and they have shown you people. In case if you have observed, I think so at that time you might have observed the color change. Earlier, the copper sulfate was blue in color. Later, once if it changed, it converts into greenish color. Yes, this is what I was telling. Some questions, you know the answer, but a bit they will change. They will twist. How they will twist? I'm going to show you here. Okay. Where all the possibilities are there, where all the chances are there in any question, how they will ask the questions. I'm sharing with you all the ideas here. Formation of gas. See children, bubbles. Okay, I hope you know the bubbles, right? Formation of bubble. That is called as effervescence. Bubbles are called as effervescence. That indicates gas production. When zinc react with hydrochloric acid, which gas is liberated? This is one more question. Name the gas liberated when zinc react with hydrochloric acid. We already know that when a metal react with acid, it gives hydrogen gas. This statement we have already studied in the chapter metals and non-metals. Am I right? Yes. From that, this question has been extracted. Change in temperature. See children, here we have two types of changes in temperature. That is one called as exothermic and the other one is called as endothermic. What do you mean by exothermic? If heat is released, that is exothermic. If heat is absorbed, then that is endothermic. Example, burning of fuel. They may ask you this in multiple choice question. Burning of fuel is an example for dash reaction. You understood my point? I think in one of your prepped, this question was appeared. Burning of fuel. Understood? I think you might have seen no in one of your prepped exam. Burning of fuel, which example? Chemical reaction, exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction kind of options they will give you. Burning of fuel, actually here heat is released. When you burn the fuel, heat is released. So that is exothermic reaction. And while dissolving ammonium chloride in water, it absorbs heat. When you dissolve ammonium chloride in water, what happens? Here also reaction is happening, but here it absorbs the heat. So it is endothermic reaction. In any reaction, if you see the heat is released, that is exothermic reaction. If heat is absorbed, then it is endothermic reaction. Formation of precipitate. Now here you can expect a question. Okay, what do you mean by precipitate? What is precipitation reaction? Statement can be asked. See, it is a single question, but from this one question, how many questions can be framed? Did you observe? Yeah. Formation of precipitate, that is an insoluble solid, that is called as precipitate, forms when two solutions are mixed. When we are mixing two or more solutions together, one insoluble solid is formed. So in any reaction, if any insoluble solid is formed, such type of reaction is called as precipitation reaction. Insoluble solid is precipitate. If this precipitate takes place or if it is formed in any reaction, that is called as precipitation reaction. When two or more substances combines together, understood, an insoluble solid is formed. So this reaction is said to be precipitation reaction. So here double displacement reaction is also known as precipitation reaction. Double displacement reaction is also known as precipitation reaction. About that we will discuss in the next topics. No need to worry. Next is change in state. A solid, liquid or gas is formed from a different states of matter. Either solid can change into liquid or liquid can change into solid. Any irreversible process. Liquid to gas or gas to solid or gas to solid or solid to gas. Anything. Understood? Here, please make sure that decomposition of sodium ammonium chloride produces ammonia gas and hydrogen chloride gas. As you can see that in this reaction, in this type of decomposition reaction, we can see that there is a change in state. So that is said to be, okay, chemical reaction has taken place. Emission of light or sound. If in any reaction, if light is appearing, light is formed or any sound is coming. Example, pop test. Burning of candle. Remember, when it is brought in front of the hydrogen gas bubbles, what happens? It will off by using a pop sound. Isn't it? Yeah, that shows that some reaction has taken place. So some reaction produce light or sound. Example, fireworks explode with light. You might have seen the crackers in Deepavali. In Diwali, it explodes. It gives sound along with the light. Isn't it? So this shows that chemical reaction has taken place. Any doubts with these statements? So children, simply you should not mug up any answers. You need to understand and learn the answers. Now the question is, define the following terms. Sometimes they may ask you, what is combination reaction? Decomposition, displacement, double displacement, rancidity. I hope you know that. What is combination? Isn't it? When two or more reactants combine together to form a single product is known as combination. Example, magnesium plus oxygen give magnesium oxide, or hydrogen plus water give hydrogen plus oxygen gives water, H2O. Hydrogen and oxygen combine to form water. As you can see here, H2 is A, O2 is B. A plus B gives AB. Shortcut form to remember combination reaction. Decomposition, here a single compound breaks into two or more simpler substances. Here actually if it has to convert, if it has to change, देखो बेटा, अभी मेरे पास एक पेन है, अब मैं पेन को दो या तीन सब्सटेंस में ब्रेक करना, then I have to give some energy. Until you are not providing any energy for this or you are not applying any force on this, it never breaks. If you want to break, you want to give some energy, isn't it? So here decomposition reaction, it requires either heat to break or pass the light to break or pass the electricity to break. So this is one of the important question for 1 mark. So decomposition reaction takes place in the presence of heat, light, or electricity. Understood? So how light? You might have seen a laser operations. We pass a laser beam, right, to break any gallstone in a kidney. Example, if any gallstone, if it is there in a kidney, they used to do laser surgery. How it is happening? By passing the light. By passing a beam of light. Understood? By passing a radiations. What they are doing? They are breaking the gallstone inside the kidney. So it means that it was a single substance. Now we break into two or more substances. We make that into a powder form. And through the formation of an urine, through an urine, we are going to remove that outside. Understood? That's nothing but decomposition. Decomposition reaction. If your luck is good, you may get the question like this also. Breaking of a gallstone in a kidney is an example for dash reaction. Sir, this is biology question, sir. In life process, I have not seen any kidney only, sir. Sir, kidney was there, sir. How to break? This is not bio. This is chemistry question. Yeah. So you should remember these points. Now, example, as you can see here, calcium carbonate, CaCO3. It decomposes. Decomposes means it breaks. Decompose. The meaning of decompose means break. It gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Understood? When it is heated. Next, displacement reaction. Here, as you can see, a displacement reaction. A highly reactive metal will displace a least reactive metal. A highly reactive metal will displace a least reactive metal. So such type of reactions are known as displacement reaction. Children's very, very, very important. 100% sure you can expect one question based on this displacement reaction. But for that, you need to remember the reactivity series. If you want to know the displacement reaction, you should know the reactivity series, which is highly reactive metal and which is the least reactive metal. So how do you remember this reactivity series? I'll give you the logic for this. Okay. Observation rules. I'll give you a logic how to remember the reactivity series. Observe here. K, Kha, Ka, Na, Khale ko. Kha, खाले को म्हणजे आलूलाना खाना खाले को म्हणजे आलूलाना जिद कर्या तो जेडन जिद कर्या तो घर में जिद कर्या तो लोहा मीन्स एफी आयरन लोहा पकड़ को पीबी लोहा पकड़ को घर में घुस को घर मीन्स हाउस लॉजिक घर में घुसको कुत्त्यां को मारे जैसा मारतो कुत्ता मीन्स डॉग सी यू अंडरस्टूड खाना खाले को म्हणजे आलू लाना नहीं लाया क्या करतो जिद कर तो लोहा पकड़ को घर में घुसको कुत्त्यां को मारे जैसा मारतो हाउ जी आओ जी मार को दिखाओ जी बात मिलता सुनना देखो गजल आओ जी आओ जी मार को दिखाओ जी बाद में कैसा सुनना मिलता देखो जी अंडरस्टूड या नो व्हाट इज के पोटेशियम Na सोडियम Ca कैल्शियम Mg मैग्नीशियम Al aluminium Zn zinc Fe ferrous Pb lead H is hydrogen Cu copper Hg mercury sorry Hg mercury Ag silver Au gold after that even platinum also will come okay yeah is this clear and children so you need to remember here house is most important part of everyone's life right yeah the elements which are above hydrogen those all are the most reactive metals. The elements which are below hydrogen, it start from copper to gold. These all are least reactive metals. Is this clear? Above hydrogen, most reactive metals. Below hydrogen, least reactive metals. And here we have written in the descending order. Descending order means very highly reactive metal is potassium, And very least reactive metal is gold. Actually, not even gold, platinum also will come. But as per your syllabus, if you remember till gold, if you remember this number of elements names and their positions, that is more than sufficient. It means that potassium and calcium, if you compare, potassium is highly reactive metal. Whoever is there with Ca, with calcium, potassium has an ability to break the front circle of calcium. Understood? समझ में आया बेटा? अब कैल्शियम के साथ कौन की है बेटा? Something is there. Now potassium, if it comes in front of that, what happens? Their relationship breaks. Easily they can break their relationship with the calcium. Because potassium is powerful. Understood? Potassium is powerful, so that what he can do? He can break relationship of calcium. समझे? Example one more, let me say zinc and iron. समझे? Zinc iron का relationship zinc break कर सकता? Can zinc break the relationship of iron? Yes, sir. Zinc can break the relationship of iron. Yes. Example, Zn plus FeSO4 gives ZnSO4 plus Fe is possible, or Fe plus ZnSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Zn is possible. Which reaction is possible? Case 1 or case 2? Case 1. Because zinc is most reactive metal compared to iron. So, whoever is there with iron, zinc has the capacity to break. Whoever is there with iron, zinc has the capacity to break. So, reaction 1 is possible. So, zinc can displace. Zinc is highly reactive metal. Iron is least reactive metal. So, zinc can displace ferrous sulfate as zinc sulfate and ferrous. Any doubts? Any doubts with this reaction? Yeah. So, such type of questions you can expect from displacement reaction. Any doubts? And here, according to this example, you can see here what he has given: zinc plus copper sulfate. Zinc is highly reactive metal, right? Compared to copper, where is copper? Copper is least reactive metal. Zinc is highly reactive metal. In case in exam, if you get any doubts, you can just write this logic and you can see which is highly reactive and which is least reactive. Based on that, you can just find out which is the correct statement. Usually, you can expect this type of questions in multiple choice. They'll give you 4 options. Out of these 4 options, they may ask you which answer is correct. Which reaction is correct. समझ में बेटा? खाना खाने को म्हणजे आलू लाना. नहीं लातूं कर को जिद करे तो लोहा पकड़ को घर में घुसको कुत्त्यां को मारे जैसा मारतो. हाओ जी, आओ जी, मार को दिखाओ जी. बाद में मालूम होता सुनना कैसा मिलता. हाँ. Okay. Anyhow. Any doubts? Good. Next is double displacement reaction. Here in double displacement reaction, there will be an exchange of ions. Very, very, very important. What is there? Exchange of ions to form new compounds. No, in your last state preparatory exam, this question was asked. Understood? To form a precipitate, name the ions responsible. Which ions are responsible to form a precipitate? To form a precipitate, example, let me say, I'll give one more example here. Barium chloride, BaCl2 plus barium chloride and one more, barium chloride and double displacement reaction example, very famous example, barium chloride and barium chloride plus sodium sulfate, that is NO2SO4 gives barium chloride plus sodium sulfate gives barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So this reaction is double displacement reaction. Now as you can see, there is an exchange of ions. Which ions? Sulfate ions and chlorine ions. So these sulfate ions and chlorine ions are responsible for double displacement reaction. To form a precipitate, sulfate ions are responsible. Any doubts? Understood? Which ions are responsible to form the precipitate? Which ions are responsible to form the precipitate? Chlorine ions and sulfate ions. This exchange of ions. So sulfate ions will go here. Chlorine ions will come this place, due to which double displacement reaction will take place. So here barium sulfate is an insoluble solid. Now this is a precipitate. In this reaction, this is precipitate. One more example, silver nitrate plus sodium chloride, when they react with each other, it gives silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. Understood? So here, silver nitrate reacts with sodium chloride to form white precipitate of silver chloride. Silver chloride. Now, silver chloride is an insoluble solid here. So, this is the precipitate. Please don't get confused with these both the reactions. In this reaction, who are responsible to form a precipitate? Nitrate and chlorine ions. Nitrate and chlorine ions are responsible for the formation of precipitate. Any doubts? Understood? So children, again I am repeating, double displacement reaction is very highly important reaction. Should not neglect this reaction. Compulsory sure question you can expect from double displacement reaction. Either any order question will be appeared. Any order, in any manner. 100% one question will be there on double displacement reaction. That's it. Next is rancidity. Again they may ask you sometimes what is rancidity. Okay. How do you prevent rancidity? What are the measures? Write any 4 or any 3 methods to prevent rancidity. Understood? One more question. The chips packet are filled with nitrogen gas. Understood? Why? Give reason. Kind of question. So any questions can be asked, but only this is the answer for this. What is rancidity? In which fats and oils undergo oxidation. In any reaction, if there is an addition of oxidation, or if it undergoes oxidation, resulting to an unpleasant smell, very bad smell will come, and also the taste also will change of that food item. So that is known as rancidity. How, when it is going to happen? When you are going to expose the food for a long duration of time. अगर से आप कोई भी खाने को ज्यादा दिन तक ऐसे रख के छोड़ रहे हैं तो उसमें क्या होता है? ऑक्सीडेशन होता है, मतलब कि उसके अंदर ऑक्सीजन मिक्स होता है, कंबाइन होता है. जब कोई भी खाने के अंदर ऑक्सीजन एंटर हो जाता है, ऑक्सीजन उसके अंदर जाने की वजह से उसका टेस्ट चेंज हो जाता है. तो अगर से उसमें ऑक्सीजन नहीं गई, जैसा हमें अवॉइड करना, तो क्या करना? स्टोरेज करना, रेफ्रिजरेट करना, फ्रिज के अंदर रखना. अगर से खाने को आप देखे होंगे, you might have seen, if you are going to preserve the food in refrigerator, it remains same as it is. Correct? Keep the milk outside, it will spoil. Keep in refrigerator, it will be fresh. Understood? How it is happening? It is preventing from further oxidation. फर्दर ऑक्सीडेशन होने से वो क्या हो रहा है बेटा? उसे बचा रहा है, जिसकी वजह से रैंसिडिटी नहीं हो रहा है. इसी तरह से नाइट्रोजन गैस को, चिप्स पैकेट के अंदर नाइट्रोजन गैस को फिल करती है. चिप्स रहती है 104, पैकेट दिखती है 150 रही जैसा दिखती है बेटा. समझ में आई बात? हाँ, इट मीन दैट इनसाइड नाइट्रोजन गैसेस है, सो इट इज प्रोटेक्टिंग द चिप्स. एंड ऑल्सो स्टोरिंग इन एयर टाइट कंटेनर्स. हवा नहीं गई जैसा पैक कर को रन, तब क्या होता बेटा? फूड स्पॉइल नहीं होता. एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स को यूज करना, लाइक विटामिन ई. ओके, एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स को यूज करने से भी क्या होता बेटा? ऑक्सीडेशन होने से वो बचाता. इट अवॉइड्स फर्दर ऑक्सीडेशन. So this process is known as rancidity. Any doubts? Is this clear? So based on rancidity also you can expect this year one of the most important topic, one of the most important question, that is rancidity. Any doubts? Is this clear? Next question. Name the brown fumes liberated when lead nitrate is heated, or write the balanced chemical equation for this. When you are going to heat the lead nitrate, brown fumes are coming, that is nitrogen dioxide. Brown fumes are nitrogen dioxide. 2 PbNO3 twice gives 2 PbO plus 4 NO2 plus O2. Children, here they will give you a small twist. You know what is that? The question will be given for you like this. X PbNO3 twice gives Y PbO plus Z NO2 plus O2. Identify X, Y and Z and name the reaction. Name which type of reaction is this. X is what? 2. Y 2. Z 4. This is which reaction? This is decomposition reaction. A single reactant breaks into 2 or more substances. Single reactant, no? Correct, no? In reactant side only we have one element. This one element breaks into two or more products. Single element breaks into two or more products. That is, which type of reaction is this? It is decomposition reaction. If you write this much, 2 marks. Only they are asking you to find XYZ. Understood? Actually, उन्होंने कैसा पूछना था? ऐसा पूछना था. What happens when lead nitrate is heated? Yeah, अगर सही से आया तो direct question. What happens when lead nitrate is heated? Write the balanced chemical reaction. Then you might have written, sir, when lead nitrate is heated, it gives lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. And this is the balanced chemical reaction you might have written. But same question they are not asking directly. They are asking, they have given the reaction as it is, and they are asking you to balance. Once you balance, you will get to know what symbols should come here. After balancing, and by seeing this statement, you have to identify which type of reaction. So this is the difference between 9th standard and 10th standard. In 9th standard, they will ask you what happens when lead nitrate is heated. In 10th standard, they won't ask you what happens because they understand that you have learnt everything. You are very smart. So they are asking very smart question for you. Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Is this clear?
Sir.
Next, CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. Very, very, very important question. Please do not neglect this. Seriously, I'm telling you. Highly important question. Chances are very high. Cu plus H2O gives Cu plus H2O. Here also, most of the students will do mistake. I'll let you know what is a mistake. In this reaction, name the reactant that is oxidized and that is reduced. देखो बेटा, अब इसमें हमें क्या करते हैं, कौन सा ऑक्सीडाइज्ड हुआ कर को बोले तो वी राइट हियर सर H2O is oxidized, Cu is reduced. Correct? 100% wrong. क्यों कर को बोले तो बेटा सी हियर, नेम द रिएक्टेंट. क्या पूछ रहे हो? Reactant. This side is called as reactant side and this side we call it as product side. अब इसमें कौन मरने जा रहा बोलो, कौन मर चुका है वो बोलो. Who is getting oxidized? Oxidized का मतलब क्या? ऑक्सीजन उसके साथ मिल रहा है. ऑक्सीडाइज्ड. रेड्यूस्ड, पहले ऑक्सीजन था, अब उसके पास ऑक्सीजन क्या हो रहा है? निकल रहा है. ही इज एलिमिनेटिंग ऑक्सीजन. देखो बेटा, इसके अंदर ऑक्सीडाइज का मतलब किसी के साथ ऑक्सीजन मिक्स हो रहा है, ऑक्सीडाइज. रेड्यूस्ड का मतलब किसी के साथ ऑक्सीजन था, अब उधर जाने के बाद उसके पास वो ऑक्सीजन नहीं रहेगा, दैट इज रिड्यूस्ड. समझ में आई बात? अब यहां क्या है? कैन यू सी हियर? या ऑब्जर्व हियर, सिंपल. ओके, अब यहां CuO के पास क्या है? व्हाट इज देयर नियर CuO? ऑक्सीजन इज देयर.
Yes, sir.
विथ कॉपर ऑक्सीजन इज देयर, राइट?
Yes, sir.
अब इधर जाने के बाद क्या होगा? इसके पास ऑक्सीजन रिमूव हो जाएगा. So which reactant is reduced? You should write here CuO is reduced. अब यहाँ हाइड्रोजन है, अब हाइड्रोजन इधर जाने के बाद क्या हो रहा है? उसके पास ऑक्सीजन मिल रहा है, ऐड हो रहा है. He is getting the oxygen, that is oxidized. So here hydrogen is oxidized. Any doubts? समझ में आया नहीं? Name the reactant पूछा सो. Name the reactant oxidized, hydrogen. Name the reactant reduced, copper oxide. Similarly, if the question is name the product, please read the question carefully. Name the product oxidized, product oxidized, H2O. Name the product reduced, Cu. प्रोडक्ट ऑक्सीडाइज्ड H2O, किसे ऑक्सीजन मिल गया है और किसके पास ऑक्सीजन चला गया है? कॉपर. नाउ समटाइम्स क्वेश्चन, इन द गिवन रिएक्शन आइडेंटिफाई द ऑक्सीडेशन एंड रिडक्शन रिएक्शन. इसमें ऑक्सीडाइज कौन हो रहा है और रेड्यूस कौन हो रहा है दिखाइए बोल के पूछ रहा है. इसमें रिएक्टेंट प्रोडक्ट का नाम ले दिया है. He has not used the word of reactant and product, just is asking identify the in this reaction identify oxidation and reduction. Then you should write CuO becomes Cu. Which reaction is this? You should write here, this is reduction reaction. This is reduction. CuO जाको Cu हो गया. That is reduction. H2 becomes H2O. You should write this is oxidation reaction. You should write like this. There is a twist in the answer. There is a procedure how to represent the answer. पहले क्वेश्चन को क्लीन से पढ़ना. रिएक्टेंट साइड पूछ रहा या प्रोडक्ट साइड पूछ रहा या कौन सा ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है पूछ रहा है. अंडरस्टूड? अंडरस्टूड? कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर क्लियर? श्योर? श्योर? Yeah. Now, if they ask you oxidizing agent, they are not asking oxidation. They are asking oxidizing agent. Then what do you write? See here. Now, already we have seen that. 1 minute. Let me see here. What was the reaction? CuO plus H2. Sorry. Cu plus H2O. What was the reaction? CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. This is the reaction, right? Yeah. Name the reactant. Oxidized hydrogen. Oxidized reactant is hydrogen. Reactant reduced copper oxide. If they ask you oxidizing agent, you should write opposite to that. Which is oxidizing agent? Copper oxide. Copper oxide is oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent का मतलब oxidizing होने के लिए कौन help कर रहा है? Copper oxide. Copper oxide is ना copper जाको is ना copper oxide बन रहा. Who is becoming copper oxide? Copper only. So oxidizing agent is copper oxide. Reducing agent is hydrogen. नहीं समझ में आया? Very good. देखो बेटा, CuO इधर जाने के बाद क्या हो रहा है? Cu हो रहा है. No, which is oxidation? Which is reducing? Which is reduction? CuO becomes Co is reduction reaction. Which reactant is reduced? CuO is reduced. Correct? CuO is reduced. CuO reduce होने के लिए कौन हेल्प कर रहा है? Who is helping? Hydrogen is helping. अभी ऑक्सीजन हाइड्रोजन कुछ ना जा रहा. समझ में आया नहीं? CuO is reduced. CuO reduce होने के लिए कौन हेल्प कर रहा है? हाइड्रोजन. So hydrogen is known as oxidizing agent. समझ में आई बात? Hydrogen is oxidizing agent. CuO is reduced. ये reduce होने के लिए हाइड्रोजन हेल्प हो रहा है. Oxidized hydrogen. Hydrogen oxidize होने के लिए which is a reducing agent? CuO. Opposite. Just remember opposite. If you write here CuO reduced, CuO is reduced, then reducing CuO is reduced. Understood? Then oxidizing agent is hydrogen. Concept is clear? Just remember that it is opposite to that. Any doubts? Understood? Sure? Which is oxidizing reactant? Hydrogen. Oxidizing reactant? Hydrogen. Now hydrogen is also known as reducing agent. Agent means what? Broker. Oxidizes hydrogen. Now hydrogen, one more name is, he is a reducing agent. Reduced reactant is copper oxide. Next, which is oxidizing agent? Copper oxide. Reduced reactant is copper oxide. Then oxidizing agent is, actually chances are very less. They will ask you oxidizing agent and reducing agent. But major important is oxidation and reduction. Who is oxidized or who is reduced? And name the oxidation reaction and identify the reduction reaction. समझ में आया बेटा? Sure? Okay. Next, just now I told you, no? Remember? The reaction of barium chloride with aluminum sulfate solution is an example for which type of chemical reaction? Why? Which one? Aluminum sulfate Al2SO3, Al2SO4 thrice plus barium chloride. It gives aluminum chloride and barium sulfate. So a barium sulfate is precipitate. So you should write this. Here there is exchange of ions. So that leads to double displacement reaction. So this reaction is also known as precipitation reaction. Now what is brine solution? You have to write here. It is a concentrated solution of common salt in water. Sometimes they will ask you what is brine solution. Sometimes they will ask you what is chlor-alkali process and name the products formed. Which are the products formed? Chlorine, hydrogens, sodium hydroxide. These are the products. Sometimes they may ask you to write the uses of the products. Here are the uses of the products. If they ask you breakdown of glucose, you have to draw this flowchart. Very, very, very important. Remember, pyruvate, it is a 6 carbon molecule. In presence of cytoplasm, it converts into pyruvate. Glucose, it converts into pyruvate. Actually, let they ask anything, you have to draw the flowchart compulsorily. याद रखना बेटा, अगर से ब्रेकडाउन ऑफ ग्लूकोज के ऊपर किसी भी तरह का क्वेश्चन आंदे, draw the flowchart and then start answering. How to start answering? Yeah, I have given the steps. One is common pathway, glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm. Here, any kind of 1 mark or 2 mark questions can be asked. I have given the points here. Where aerobic respiration takes place, when anaerobic respiration takes place, what happens, what are the products are formed, that is the thing. Next, briefly explain the double displacement reaction. Okay, briefly explain the double circulation of blood and write the importance of double circulation of blood. See here actually in a heart we have two systems. One is called as pulmonary circulation and the other one is systemic circulation. To understand this, I have given this chart. Can you see this? The upper one, can you see this? From heart it goes to lungs. From lungs it comes to heart. That is known as pulmonary circulation. This is pulmonary circulation. Again, systemic circulation is from heart it comes to body organs. From body organs again it goes to heart. That is systemic circulation. Systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation is oxidation. Sorry, what is it mean? Oxygenated blood. There is a transfer of oxygenated blood. Understood? And systemic circulation is deoxygenated blood. Concept is clear? Can you see this? From heart it goes to lungs. From lungs it comes to heart. Pulmonary circulation, how it's going to happen, I have explained here the points. Systemic circulation, from heart it goes to body parts. From the body parts it comes to the heart. This is systemic circulation. This is how the double circulation of blood takes place. Sometimes if they ask you the question, briefly explain the functioning of heart. How the heart functions. Then you are supposed to write this answer only. That is double circulation of blood only. This is how the heart does the functions. And why it is important? I have given the importance of double circulation of blood. Now, explain the formation of urine, or sometimes they may ask you, explain the structure and function of the basic functional unit of kidney. It's a 1 mark question also. Which is the basic functional unit of kidney? Nephron. Nephron is the basic functional unit of kidney. Sometimes they may ask you, explain the formation of urine, or how the nephron does the function. Remember the diagram of a nephron? Yeah. So here we have three topics. One is filtration, then reabsorption, and the other one is secretion. Now, see children, this question can be asked for 1 mark, sometimes 3 marks also. 1 mark, sometimes 3 marks also. If they ask for 1 mark, you should write only this much. Small intestine is considered as the complete site of digestion. How? Then you should write here, because here there is a final breakdown of food and maximum absorption of nutrients takes place. So this is what we called as small intestine is the main site of digestion. Sometimes they may ask you to explain how it's going to happen. Then you have to explain the entire small intestine system. After the stomach, till it produces the energy. Till that topic you are supposed to explain. Here I have given the explanation for this. How exactly it does the function, which all the helps it going to take, trypsin, lipase, how these all things converts. Understood? These all things you have to explain. These all things explanation or these all complete working is being done in the small intestine. Next, what is power of accommodation? 100%. Write and keep in the bond paper. This question will be there. What is power of accommodation? Briefly explain the defects of vision, their causes and the measures to prevent it. First I have given what is the definition of power of accommodation, boys. What is the power of accommodation? It is the ability of the islands to adjust its focal length. Common defects: myopia, hypermetropia. The another name of myopia is nearsightedness, and how it is caused and how do you correct the defect. Hypermetropia, cause correction. Presbyopia, cause correction. Astigmatism, cause correction. Cataract, definition, cause correction. Next, what is dispersion of light? Explain the formation of rainbow. Sometimes they may ask you for 1 mark. Name the light which deviates least and most while passing through a glass prism. Give reason. So for dispersion of light, this is the answer. Formation of rainbow, I have shown the steps. And for the last answer, which deviates the least and most, red light deviates the least and violet deviates the most. Understood? Yeah. One more question. Based on this topic, one more question can be asked. Which one? Name the light which deviates the least and most. Is there no? Yeah. In the traffic signal, there is a red color light. In the traffic signal, we are using a red color light as a danger signal. Why? Give reason. Then you have to write the answer for red color. What you should write the answer here? In a traffic signal, why we are going to use a red color as a danger light? Because it has what? As you can see here, the color which have smallest wavelength deviates most and largest wavelength deviates least. Now red deviates least. Red deviates least. Why? Because it has largest wavelength. The wavelength is largest, so it deviates least. Only you should write this answer. Why in red color is used? Because it has largest wavelength, so it deviates least. Understood? Yeah. Now, sometimes they may ask you how is ozone is formed. Sometimes they may ask you what is ozone layer depletion, causes for ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer depletion happened. Then what are the effects of it? How it is going to harm on our atmosphere. ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन की वजह से हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में किस किस तरह का नुकसान हो रहा है. इन विच ऑल द वेज it is destructing our atmosphere. Understood? And how do you prevent it? See here, formation of ozone I have explained. Ozone layer depletion definition, causes for ozone layer depletion, effects for ozone layer depletion. Understood? And measures to prevent ozone layer depletion. Only you have to write these key points. For these answers, just you write the key points, and this is the sub explanation for this, for your understanding. If they ask you effects of ozone layer depletion, you should write increased UV radiation, damage to ecosystem, climate change, weakened immune system, material damage. If you write this much enough. This is the further explanation. Causes, you should write here. What are the causes for ozone layer depletion? किसकी वजह से ozone layer depletion हो रहा है? Increase in CFCs, halogens, nitrous oxide, industrial chemicals, deforestation. These are the causes for ozone layer depletion. Any doubts? And here I have given the explanation, further explanations, right? Yeah, this could be a 1 mark multiple choice question. Wherever I have given the further explanation, this could be a multiple choice, a 1 mark question. Okay. Next, how is the sex of a child will be determined in human beings? I have seen most of the students are writing the answer, but I am not getting the perfection. How you should write the answer? Please try to write the answer in these steps. Follow these steps so that it will be easy for you. First, you should write what females has the chromosomes, what male has the chromosomes, and how exactly the transfer takes place, and it helps in the formation of a boy child and a girl child. So, this is how you have to explain. Next, different modes of asexual reproduction. Children, this is one of the important question. Actually, they may not ask you to explain this, like how I have asked you. If I have seen your model papers or previous prep papers kind of thing, they have given the diagram. Based on the diagram, they are asking the questions. So, we have different modes of reproduction, that is binary fission. They may ask you, can you see these figures? They may ask you, they may give you this figure and they may ask you, which type of mode of reproduction is this? And define it. Can you see this? This is amoeba, paramecium, bacteria. This is all what is happening. A parent cell divides into two identical daughter cells. They may ask you sometimes 1 mark question. What is binary fission? Give an example. Or they may give you the figure and they may ask you to identify which type of mode of reproduction takes place. So that is the reason you should not get confused. So I have given the definition along with the related figure also I have given for your better understanding. So budding, fragmentation, regeneration, budding in hydra. They may ask you, what is budding in hydra? How the budding in hydra takes place? Kind of question. Spore formation, vegetative propagation. So please read these points. It will be very helpful for you. Next, chemical properties of carbon compounds. Please take one bond paper and write down. This question will be 100%. It will be there. Based on this topic, compulsory one question will be there based on chemical properties of carbon compounds. 110% sure one question will be there. Okay. Combustion, oxidation, addition. I think in your previous prep exam you might have seen they have asked you one question. What is that? What is hydrogenation? Isn't it? One definition. So remember that is nothing but an addition reaction. I have given everything in detail over here for your better understanding. Substitution, esterification, saponification. Now, briefly explain transpiration and translocation. Transpiration, translocation. So actually you know very well transpiration will take place in xylem, translocation will take place in phloem. Understood? So sometimes they may ask you explain the transportation of water and food in plants. Let they ask any question, answer remains same. Let they ask about xylem or transpiration or water, these all are same. Phloem, translocation, food, these all are same. So here I have given clear explanation about transpiration, steps in transpiration, importance. Translocation process, importance. Now, what are the steps involved during reflex action and trace the events? Can you see this? So first you have to define what is reflex action and how it is going to happen, and I have given the trace the events. First you can say first we are going to touch, we have a stimulus, it goes to receptor, then sensory neurons carries that information and it will send to the spinal cord. Spinal cord will decide what exactly it is, then that message is transferred to motor neurons and motor neurons get activated with the help of effector. They will show the response so that we can take our hand back when we touch an hot object. Is this clear? That is the tracing the events. Explain the mechanism of breathing, inhalation and exhalation. What is placenta? Write its functions. Very, very, very important question. Do not forget. The same question can be asked for you in this form. How does the embryo get nourishment inside the mother's body? So you are supposed to write the answer this much. Properties of magnetic field lines. See our children. Based on the properties of magnetic field lines, sometimes they may give you diagrammatical based question. Sometimes they may give you diagrammatical based question. And sometimes they may ask you direct question also. Can you see this? Yeah, let me to define. Remember, if it is a bar magnet, okay. Now, let me say this is north and south pole. Always the magnetic field lines move from north pole to south pole outside the magnet and south pole to north pole, south pole to north pole inside the magnet. And magnetic field lines are curved lines. Magnetic field lines are curved lines. And magnetic field lines never intersect each other. Magnetic field lines, these three lines, can you see here? These never intersect each other. Sometimes they may ask you one more question. Let me say these are the two different magnets. Okay. Now they may ask you, among these both the figures A and B, which figure has high magnetic field? A or B? B. Very good. Why? Because, can you see this closeness? Can you see the gap between two magnetic fields? Can you see the gap between two magnetic fields here? As how much the gap will be less, the magnetic field will be very high. How much the gap is more, that much the magnetic field is weak. How much gap is less, magnetic field is strong. How much gap is more, magnetic field is weak. That's nothing but the relative strength of the magnetic field depends upon the degree of closeness of the magnetic field. Any doubts? The strength of the magnetic field depends on the degree of closeness of magnetic field. Please write down this sentence somewhere and keep it ready. This is highly important definition. And remember, the magnetic field lines are strong at the poles. Where the magnetic field is strong? At the poles. At the poles. Magnetic field lines are strong at the poles. If you write at least these number of points, it carries 2 marks. Now, the question, sub-question can be asked for you like this. Why magnetic field lines never intersect each other? Give reason. Understood? Give reasons questions. Kind of thing you can expect. So, please read this points so that you will understand where all which type of questions can appear. Yeah, please sit proper, all of you. Sit straight. Yes, very good. Next, write the properties of ionic compounds. Children, based on these properties, every point has one give reason question. Every point has one give reason question. Please note it down. Can you see here? Properties of ionic compound. They are high melting and boiling point. Why? Give reason. Ionic compounds have high melting and boiling point. Why? Give reason. Sometimes they ask properties. Properties means just you write these key points. They have high melting and boiling point. They are hard and brittle. They are soluble in water. They conduct electricity in molten state and dissolved state. They form crystalline solid. If you write these key points, that is properties of ionic compounds. Why? Give reason set of questions. I have given the statements here. Please go through it. So these are the give reasons questions. On what factors the resistance of a conductor depends? As you all knows it, length of the conductor, isn't it? Area of cross section, material of the conductor, temperature of the conductor. If you write this much, enough for 2 months. Now, for every point, one indirect question they will ask you. I have given you indirect question. Can you see this? Length of the conductor. Remember, R is directly proportional to L. If resistance increases, length also increases. If length increases, resistance also increases. On this, they may give you diagrammatical based question. Can you see this figure? A, B, C, D. Can you see this? This is length is L, area of cross section is also 1. Length 2L, area is A. Length is L, area is twice of A. 2A means double. 2A. Here 2L, 2A. Among these all the 4 options, which one is having high resistance? Yeah, based on this first condition, you have to analyze which is having the high resistance. Highly important, expected question. They may give you same figure, same diagram, same answer. Multiple choice. A, B, C, D. Which one is having high resistance? There is a small calculations for this. Please do it and check it out. Which is having the high resistance? This is the homework for you. And if you know the answer, please do not forget to comment in the comment section. Which is the correct answer? This is A, this is B, and this is C, and this is D. Let me see who will tell the correct answer. Next, area of cross section. Children, this all from where did we get? We got from here. R equals rho L by A. As you can see, if R increases, length also increases. If R increases, A decreases. If resistance increases, area decreases. If area increases, resistance decreases. And also we have the formula V is equals to I into R. From this also we can say that R is equals to V by I. Now here from this what we can, why I am doing this calculations, because you can see here I is in denominator, A is also in denominator. It means that if I increases, area also increases. If I decreases, area also decreases. So based on this relation, you can expect a question from the chapter electricity. समझ में आया बेटा? सिंपल बेटा. R और A का रिलेशन देख लो. R इंक्रीज हुआ तो ये क्या हो रहा देखो. इसी तरह से I और A का रिलेशन देखो. I इंक्रीज हुआ तो ये क्या हो रहा देखो. इसी तरह से V और I का रिलेशन देखो. V इंक्रीज हुआ तो I को क्या हो रहा. I इंक्रीज हुआ तो V को क्या हो रहा देखो. Just check these 3 relationships and keep it a note in your mind about these 3 relationships. In exam, in case if you get any doubts, please remember this formula. Write this V equals IR and check which is coming in numerator, which is coming in denominator. Again, you remember this formula R equals rho L by A. Again, here also check which is in numerator and which is in denominator. If both the sides are in numerator, it shows that if this increases, this also increases. One side is numerator and the other side is in denominator. It shows that if one increases, the other one will decreases. That's it. Followed? Followed? Good. Yeah. And material of the conductor, that is nothing but resistivity. They may ask you this question. Please make a note. What is resistance? Write the SI unit. And what is resistivity? Write its SI unit. And also, one more thing I just wanted to tell you. There is one table in your textbook. based upon the resistivity of conductors, insulators and alloys. Remember. Now, the resistivity of the conductor is what? The resistivity of the insulators are what? And the resistivity of the alloys are what? Which is having high resistivity? If resistivity is high, what happens to resistance? Check. If resistivity is less, what happens to resistance? You check. If resistance increases, resistivity decreases. Understood? If resistance increases, resistivity decreases. Remember. Followed? Followed? Please remember the table. The table is one of the most important table. See the values. Some values are in negative, some values are in positive. Can you see this? Conductors having 10 power minus 6. Remember? Insulators has positive, 10 power positive. The resistivity is high. In conductors, resistivity is in negative. Remember the table and check the table once from the chapter electricity. I think it comes in the right hand side page of your textbook in the bottom page, that is Google map location. Okay, good. Material of the conductor. As you can see, conductors like copper have low resistance. Low resistance. While insulators like rubber have high resistance. Here resistance is high. Copper having low resistance and resistivity is high. It is having low resistance. Copper have low resistance and insulators has high resistance. Since resistance is high, so they avoid the current. जितना रेजिस्टेंस ज्यादा रहेगा उतना करंट कम जाएगा. जितना रेजिस्टेंस कम रहेगा उतना करंट ज्यादा पास होगा. Because resistance is what? It opposes the current. Understood? What is resistance? It is the substance which opposes the current. करंट को स्टॉप करने में हेल्प कर रहा है. Temperature. Resistance increases, temperature for metals. Can you see this? Resistance increases with temperature for metals. In semiconductor, resistance decreases. Now, what is saponification? Briefly explain the cleansing action of soap. See, children, formation of rainbow, cleansing action of soap. These are the repeated questions. Defects of vision. This is a repeated question. My dear teachers, if someone is following this video, please assist your children. These are the most important questions. Defect of vision. Sure. Write and keep it in a bond paper. And next, formation of rainbow or cleansing action of soap. Understood? So that one. And double circulation of blood. Breakdown of glucose in various pathways and chlor-alkali process, family of salts. Okay. So this is the explanation. And what are tropic levels? Very important question. Flow of energy in an ecosystem is always unidirectional. Why? Explain. What is Tyndall effect? The color of the sky is blue. Explain. How is corrosion a harmful chemical reaction? How it can be prevented? Next, explain why toothpaste is basic. This is from the topic importance of pH. This is from the topic importance of pH. Okay, toothpaste is basic in nature. Factory waste should be neutralized before disposal. Factory के waste को क्या करना बेटा? पहले filter करना कहते बेटा. We have to neutralize before we dispose. Why? What is the reason behind that? So such type of questions can be asked. And one more thing I just wanted to highlight. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel Shah Sir Classes, do subscribe it and click the like button. And after watching this complete video, do not forget to share this video with your beloved, dear and near ones. So let everyone together pass in this academic year board exam. Okay. Describe the steps to prepare plaster of Paris and write its chemical reaction. Mention its uses. What is peristalsis? Where does it occur? You might have seen your digestive system, alimentary canal. There you can see once if the food is chewed, once if it is transferred to the stomach, there is a peristaltic movement that takes place in the esophagus. How the food moves, as you can see, the esophagus will contract and relax. It helps the smooth lining of food, smooth passage of food. The food should go smoothly inside the stomach. So that movement is called as peristalsis movement. Where does it occur? It occurs in esophagus, stomach and intestines. Now, what is pH scale? What is its range? Explain the importance of pH in everyday life. And this is the end of this session. So still more, we'll come back with still more important questions with answers in our next video. In our part 1 video, if you have not watched, we have completed all the diagrams. The same final revision part 1, we have completed all the diagrams of the entire syllabus. how to draw in an easiest way, I have explained. In part 2 video, I have explained the complete structures, functional groups, and formation of sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, and aluminum chloride. That formations also we have explained in part 2 video. In part 3 video, we are coming to the scoring package. Part 1 and part 2 video, we have completed the passing package topics. And in part 3 video, we have covered the scoring package. And part 4 and part 5 also will be covering the scoring package. If you are going to study this much, it's more than sufficient. Take care. All the best. Keep watching. We'll meet soon. Take care.